we're going to get started with everything. Hopefully, you guys are okay. I know it's a switch in times for everything that we got going on. Had to do the switch because I'm back teaching and I can't do the morning session with New York. So that's okay. We'll do the best we can and then have it recorded for you guys if you want to watch it later. All right, we're going to look at our pairs. And like I always do in Technical Tuesday, I kind of go over the top-down AQZ structure. We're going to look at GU, EU, and AU, and then we're also going to be looking at gold. So let's go ahead and take a look right here. We'll start with the alphabet at the top. So we're looking at AU here on a monthly basis. We're kind of trapped between zones. It did already retest to this engulfing. So we could look at see how it is on the kind of the AQZ zones with the rungs. So you had the close below, retest and it's dropped down, it's bouncing here. It also looks like it's under pinky, just above pinky right here. So we could get a retest back to this zone, you know, some rise coming up with it, or because of the price action saying, basically we haven't closed below this zone here. And when we haven't closed below this zone, the retest is still up here. Could be midline, it could be up here. So on the monthly, we're looking at possible movement to retrace back upwards from somewhat and down. But we want to look at the whole picture. So let's kind of slide out of the monthly on AU and look at the weekly. And this is just top-down EQZ analysis. Same thing we have going on here with the monthly. We also have it on the weekly. We kind of have it trapped between zones right now. So it's caught between these two zones right here. Lock this up. So we're trapped between these two zones. And since we have this engulfing, we've had the breakout here, but no retest. So we could have the retest down low, or we could have the retest back up high on what it wants to do. And this one looks like it's about TP 1.5. I'm just guessing without putting it back out there. But those are things to kind of look at when we're here. So we have the close below TP1. This last hour close, 4-hour close didn't work. Looks kind of a bearish pennant. So it looks like this could be a retest to the downside on it. From here down, this could be the retest to the next zone down. But we're really trapped between this engulfed and this engulfed down here. And this is what this candle engulfed, the bear candle. And this one here, this breakout has this bull candle engulfed. So we really looking at for retest into either this zone or this zone. So we're trapped between price, just like it shows here on the monthly. We're kind of trapped between price, between these two zones. Same thing again. So you'd probably have to look at when we go down to lower time frame. So let's look at the daily on gold, or I mean on AU. So this is the daily. If you've been lucky this time around, Doug has released pretty much all the indicators for you guys. We used to just have the prophetic candle and momentum shift, but now we actually have the daily prophetic candle, I believe he gave to you guys. So you could see this candle when they had the breakout candle, it all retested to the zone multiple times and went to TP1 multiple times. So this is like take your partials, rinse and repeat, take your partials, rinse and repeat. And so now the play on this one would be to the upside. So if we're thinking on the daily, this close above, we're looking for this movement upwards. And so that would give us the retest to the upside on the weekly and the monthly, possibly, if you went that high, 7433. So let's take a look at, I'm going to get out of here. Let's look at the next retest up on, oh, that's gold, sorry. 7.5. So you can bring us to this next zone on the monthly, right up into here, right? The weekly, let's take a look at the weekly. Same thing, 7.4. So we could look at, if this continues back up, we can look at a possible retest into preferred. So my guess it would be, okay, let's just be patient. We don't have the close above, the movement would be down, but you could get into this and see that it pushes back up into here, and then you'd have some drawdown. So if you did take this short, that's right here, because that's what price action says, you might want to keep it tight. But this again is on the weekly. And so the daily is showing a whole different look. So let's look at the 4-hour on AU. So if you're noticing, I'm going from higher time frames down to lower time frames, trying to gauge price action. So we have this engulfed candle. This is the breakout. This was a slight violation, then revalidation back to the short side, and here's the retest. So on the lower time frames, this looks like it wants to go down, but then you also see a pattern here that's a bullish pennant. And so we could see this have an opportunity to violate. And so if you took this retest, you probably want to keep it pretty tight, you know, just above this zone here. And so that's what I'm seeing here, that this we could get a possible invalidation or violation where you have the candle close back above and take the retest back up into 743, 745. This is TP2 up here, and maybe even that zone that's up here, 746. That was what we were seeing here on the weekly. 7.6 daily. What was it daily? Daily. That's right, 745. So we could see on a lower time frame, it looks like it's going bullish. While the higher time frames were trapped between prices. And this is a 4-hour. So if we can get this violation above, that might be something to wait patiently for. But we're not going to get that for another 4 hours from now. And so you might want to wait for this candle to close above. The only other thing that I would look at for price action wise, let me get out of here, is to look and see what does it look like on break the bank. And this one, I haven't been on AU in a while, so I'm gonna have to take a look. As you can see, I got old stuff here. Okay, we have a reversal pattern to the downside here. That the break the bank, these are my colors. We have a reversal here that happened off of this one. So I'm just trying to get a gauge. Why did they paint this candle? It must have been here and here. That's a huge move. So let's take a look at that one. I like the bigger ones when you look at break the bank. So break the bank is from the highest wick for the short down to the next bear candle. And that's what these lines, with the break the bank indicator, it actually draws the lines for you. So it makes it real simple to see it. So right now, this is a retest to the upside because we have a close above this preferred zone. The same rules apply with AQZ. So we have this close that happened right. Let me just draw this out and get this out of there. I was trying to move it over. Doesn't want to move for me, so I'll do it the hard way. So we have a candle that closed above right here. And right, barely right here, but this one's to close above, right? And so that tells price action has stayed above since that close above. We don't have a close below this line, so it's still bullish. So if I was going to do an entry, I would play break the bank off of this. And that goes along with the 4-hour and the daily time frames. That would bring us back up to TP1 zone here, which is about 46 pips. This retest. I also like the fact that we have pinky sitting right here. This is a strong EMA. And so it respects it. As you can see, look at how it respects along this EMA. Much stronger than the 200. And so this could be the move where you can get like 40 pips to TP1 off of this. Of course, you want to be looking at what's happening with Dixie because whatever Dixie's doing, the opposite is happening over here. So here's Dixie pushing down. You can see AU pushing up. So I've gone from higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour, and then I dropped down to the 15-minute with break the bank to actually do my entries, to take the entries on up. And so since this was the close above, this is retest, retest, down, down, retest. All of this area right here would be an opportunity to take you up for, let's see what it is. Up to TP1 if it goes out about almost 50 pips. And sometimes they go to TP1.5, which would give you easily 60 pips. So that's not a bad entry to actually consider. And I think I'm just going to fire one off of this. I'd like to have it, a couple pips lower, but that's okay. I can, it's not a huge difference from where it's at. And so I'm actually going to enter in on it. You trade what you think you need to trade, but I like what I'm seeing after analyzing it that way. And let's see how this plays out. If Dixie continues down, all of those things come into play. So there's AU for you. So let's go over and let's take a look. We'll come down the alphabet here to EU. Notice I'm trading pairs that are opposite of Dixie, the dollar. And so I'm going to look at those things. I'm just going to remove all this off the lower time frame, but let's do the same thing I did earlier. So let's look at the monthly on EU. Kind of get a top-down structure. Where is it going? What is price action telling us? And as you could see on the monthly, it came down. We had this breakout all the way down to TP2, and it's come back up, retested a drop, come back and retested, and it's dropped again. And it hasn't quite gone down to TP1, but this is like 755 pips on the monthly. So, okay, price action's looking like it wants to go down. Now, we do kind of have this bullish channel coming up, but until, like I said, until we get the close above, the price action is down. It's back down to TP1. Now, we may get this, but remember, this is on the monthly, right? So let's take a look at the weekly. Same type of principle, think it again. So on this one, we're looking like we're trapped between zones. Here's this engulf one. I chose this one to the left because of the original setup, and then this engulf. I could do this engulf down here again and look for a retest off of that. So that's an option as well. This little candle here has been engulfed. So we can fib that one out if we wanted to. I know it's getting kind of messy, but I'll bring it up. But we could fib that one and look for a retest into this zone. It might even come back down into this zone because it didn't quite get there on this one. It's just above that. So this is a possible retest. This area up here is a retest. We could also, if we wanted to, take this candle here and do this as an engulfing and look for this zone to be retested up high. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly for this. And right now we're kind of caught between zones. So I may want for a pullback slightly, but this is on the weekly, okay? So we're not entering, we're just trying to figure out what is price action telling us? Where is it going? So let's take a look at the daily on the EU. So here's a daily candle over here hasn't been, we had the breakout, retest, boom, and it's taken out. So this is probably the move that EU is going to make right here. We're going to take this retest off of this zone. This looks like a bullish pennant right here. So this retest down into, 186, 36 around there, up to the next zone. We're looking at, 60 pips. All right, so there's the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour. Now just keep dropping down time frames, keep trying to look at areas of entry. And I had marked this one up earlier. So this is a possible retest zone for this. We also have this zone here to bounce off of, right? So we have this going on. And so we're kind of trapped between this zone, let me clean it up. On the 4-hour, we're trapped between zones right here. And then this is the other area I did way over here, this other candle. See this candle over here? It's a previous candle. It's right here in the white, just above here. This is a short, that's a bull. So we're looking at these candles, and I mark them up because they're zones of resistance. But ideally, this might be a zone to retest for a short. And so we're still kind of trapped between zones. So we're looking here, trapped between zones, weekly, perhaps a pushback down. So that's where on the 4-hour, we could be looking somewhere down in this region, you know, look for the retest down into here, right? Monthly is what we had there. And so then let's look at break the bank to kind of see what would be an entry for us for what they have. So we'll kind of take a look at here. So I like up here, it doesn't look like it's a big zone, but it is a reversal pattern up here. So that might be an area to play it. And this one looks like a bigger zone down here. So what do they do here? Line, where's that line's from? That would be a line right there. Let's see if there's a bigger one left. No. So why did they paint that one? This would be the move from here all the way down to here. That's a huge zone. So look for the highest wick on the high end, and then we go down to the next bear candle. And that's that zone. So as you can see, it retested and dropped, retested and dropped. Look at the solidness on that one. And so what we're going to be looking here, if we're going to look for the buy at any point, because I'm not sure how we're looking at this, we're really trapped between zones on EU. This is the short on the monthly, weekly, trapped between zones, trapped between zones. So if you were looking maybe to take this opportunity for a retracement for a buy, this one probably wouldn't be one you would get in on a play yet. I would probably be waiting on this one. And this is pre-breakout right here. If we get this breakout above this zone, this will give us a reversal pattern or a continuation for the buy. If we get a candle to break above this wick, notice I took from the lowest wick to the next bull candle up. So this could be the move upward if we get the break up. What it will do is come back down and retest and then possibly go back up. And that's what we could be looking at when we're looking at this move here, possibly retest down in this zone, or what was it? What were we looking at? Or this one on the weekly down in these zones. So EU doesn't look like something I would just want to jump in yet. I think I would want to wait to see what happens here because we're trapped between zones. And so this would probably be a non-starter for me right now. I would be patient and wait and see what develops. You could always set an alert, you know, if it crosses a certain zone. I usually put my alerts down here. So if I wanted to, I'd put alert here. If it crosses over, it would tell me, oh, okay. If I put an alert here, down under here, that means it's going to short because it's closed below. Same principle like we talk up above, but this one, instead of being, this is what we'd be looking at, a blue candle below. So then we would take the retest for the short, and then we take it down to A1, which would be somewhere down here if I went and made all my fibs come out. I know I've been doing a little bit of talking. I got a few of you guys in here. In chat, drop a Y or question mark. Do you guys get what I'm talking about so far? I've gone through AU and EU this way. Go ahead and just give me some feedback where you're at. If you have a question, you can drop it in chat as well. Or unmute yourself. It's no problem talking to me. You can unmute yourself if you want. But do you guys follow the logic of how I'm using AQZ, these aqua fibs, and price action to kind of gauge where I would do my entries, and then finally coming in on BTB. So let me know if you understand with a Y, or if you're still like, I don't know, I don't really get it. Maybe a question mark. drop it in chat for me and let me know where you guys are at. All right, cool. Good. Are you? All right. Well, just if you guys want to drop your feedback in there for me, let me know where you're at. I'm going to now, let's do the same thing. We're going to look with GU and see how that one plays out. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. So here's the British pound. I had this marked up for a few weeks. This one broke out, came back up. Here's our first violation on the monthly of last month. Here's the retest and a close below. So actually, this would be the move downwards if it were to hold, because we don't have a price action close above. So we're looking possibly to retrace back down below. However, it looks like it's kind of bullish to me, kind of forming a bullish pennant. So let's take a look at what is the weekly showing us on GU. All right, same thing. I use this engulfed candle here, breakout, violation, take the entry up, come down, invalidation or violation back to the downside, wick. So we're looking for a short. So if we're looking at GU, this is the move down to maybe 130. And in the weekly, we're looking at 137, a little bit higher, but this would be the move down. Am I going to fire it off on this one right here? No, there's a lot of pips in this area. So once again, I'm going to look for the downside of it. Okay. So let's take a look at the daily on GU. So here's our prophetic candle from last week. We don't have a new one yet right here. We have the breakout from the downside. No retest. Here's a violation. There's the retest to the upside. Went to TP1. It's dropping back down. This, we could see, this has been engulfed right here. This breakout candle right here gave us the entry. So this could be the opportunity for a short back down to preferred. So this candle here is the breakout of these wick to wick. Here's the retest back down to this zone, give you about 118 pips. That's on a daily, of course, right? On the daily. And that's not how I would enter. I would wait and go to the lower time frames. So far, down, shorten, that's monthly, weekly a short, daily a short, right? Take the retest up here for a short. And then let's look at the 4-hour on GU. So once again, we're looking at a short. But violation, look for some type of retest up in this area, take it down for a short. So far, these are areas to be looking at for a possible short for GU. Now, we also have to consider, what Dixie's doing at the same time, where it's at. I haven't evaluated Dixie yet, but that's the next thing to look at. One of the ones I'll look at as well. And so then the next area I'd be going to is from the 4-hour. You could do the 1-hour. We have the 1-hour. I just didn't bring it up. Let's see where it's at. I left this one out when I was doing my original analysis with the other pairs, but we could look at the 1-hour and get some more confluence. So let's take a look once it loads up. On GU. And what do we got here? Looks like another short potential. Right here, there's this one, and there's this big one right here. There's two areas. I like the bigger one. This is the most recent. It's too tiny. I just don't like how tiny it is. See how tiny that is? But I do like this one up here as a possible. So this could be the area that it might go to for the short on the 1 hour. Because there's a bigger zone, it'll have more respect of that zone, and then you take it down. So far, everything's looking as a short. So let's look at this GU with break the bank. So let me get a look at this. All right, there's that one. And there is this one on the low end side. So we're looking for a retest and a short on the other ones. So let me mark this one up right here. And why did I mark that one up? Well, take from the highest wick, I'll unlock it, make sure I got it right. Take from the highest wick, which is right there, down to the lowest bare candle for the short. That's what the break the bank method is for it. And so with this indicator, it paints the lines for you, makes it really nice and simple, right? It's just an added feature that's nice to have. So if I was going to do anything, I would probably take the short off the retest. And I don't think it has come back to preferred after the breakout. So let's take a look. Oh, sorry guys, I hit the wrong button trying to do it. So here's the breakout, no retest to preferred. So we're going to look for the retest for the short because that's what GU has been screaming at us. And then we could take it possibly back down to TP2, which is about 60 pips. TP1 is about 40 pips. So of course you might take partials before you get all the way there for where you're at it. But that's what I'm seeing with this, the breakout retest. So that kind of coincides with everything else we've seen on GU. Short, 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 even on that. And then we go to the 1 hour. Where's that 1 hour? Short. There's the 4 hour, and here's break the bank. So these are all areas that kind of tell us, hey, look, check it out. GU could be a possible short. Yeah, I'll get there. We don't mind doing that because it's part of the pairs that go with Dixie. So as you see this is all aspects for a short. So you might want to, set yourself an alarm when it comes up here. You could do it, enter in, or you could just set a sell limit. Stop hunt 1 is about 30 pips. Potential for, I think it was 60 to the other way. 60. So maybe you do, 15 pips to the midline as a, SL. If it closes above here, then you're going to take it back up. It would be going back up higher in that sense. So that's what I'm seeing with that. Let me take a look. All right, so this is the 1 hour monthly. All right, let's take a look at NU. Someone asked about it. So NU has this as an option right here at the top on the monthly. So I'm going to just kind of show the zone that it's in. Sorry guys, I keep trying to click on the area there and it's right in the wrong spot. All right, so we have this here. We also have the one down below. We have this one. that it broke out, hasn't retested it, so that's a potential. So maybe a short down to here. So that's on the monthly. Kind of looking for the retest here for a short. Let's look at the weekly. No breakout here. No breakout there. So we have this candle here. That's a potential retest. And this candle below, because that's a breakout right here. So this could be a retest to a short. Take it down to the next level, because here's the violations, retest, reinvalidate, retest. So we could see that as an option. So those are weekly, so monthly, weekly, kind of looking short. Let's look at the daily. All right. So breakout, come down, violation, retest, stop hunt, breakout. So we're probably sitting about TP1. And then the area that would be of interest would be over here to the left. So we have this violation drop down, wick into it, retest. So could we see some type of reaction here at this zone? Or a repeat coming back into the zone below. The opposite direction if it retested down here to take it up. So that's on the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. It's going to let me. All right, 4 hour. Looking left. So here would be the candle I'd be looking for the short. Oh, excuse me, I got this yawns. So this is the potential for NU on the 4 hour for short to look to up into this zone, which would give us about 54 pips off of here. And this is on the 4 hour. 1 hour, same type of thing. Let's take a look there. Oh. Looking left to see if there's any type of resistance over here. Well, this one kind of looks trapped between price on us here. And then we have all sorts of candles on the lower end side, including here and here. So this might be an area for a retest for the short up here, 709. I like that pinky sitting right there too. So 7075, so 709 would be up here. So with this 1 hour, this could be the zone that we could be looking at. Okay. And then we do the same thing with break the bank. Let's take a look at this. Oh, oh, oh. Really nothing to the left. So I'm going to start with, okay, where's a possible areas for a retest to the low downside? So could this be the retest 760 that we can look at? There's nothing there that says it would stop except the AQZ zone itself. And I was looking, there's really this area here. So I'm looking at the white line right here is what we're looking at. So could this be a zone as well that we can look at on the upside? Because I take the high to the next bear candle down. And so now I can go back over to see where it is on the left or the right. And see if we've gotten to that zone. Yep, we're right in that sweet spot. It hasn't violated this right here. So this could be a potential, if we wanted to short it, because everything else was kind of talking that way. This would be the area I would short from and keep it very narrow because of this zone right here. But we don't have a close above this. So that would be the move. And I had to go back and find the BTB all the way to the left. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You look for some type of structure to the left that it hasn't been to. And that's what this one's showing with NU right here. So let's do this one. All right. So what does Dixie tell us it wants to do? Because all those other pairs are going to be affected by it one way or another. So here's the monthly on Dixie. Could we look for a retest maybe down below? But this is what we're seeing on the monthly. This is an area to look at as well, but it hasn't really given that intentional move there yet. So it's trapped between zones right here. Let's look at the weekly on the dollar. Look like the same thing here, upside trapped, kind of trapped between these two. We could say this one, but doesn't look good. And then this candle down below, notice it kind of respected that zone at one point. So could we see a repeat up here or is continuation down to the downside on the weekly? Let's take a look at the daily. All right, so we have a prophetic candle for the daily on it, and that's this one right here. So that one's saying short. Breakout, short. Breakout, retest. We haven't really retested back to this zone. And then this is a previous candle that, I don't know, why have we marked up this one? That wouldn't have been the one I would have marked up. Would have marked up this one. Because it gives us the, oh, it is a candle, never mind. So that's why. All right, I just didn't see it right here. It's so tiny. So could we see retest back down to this area? The dollar would sink more. And that would push all those other ones up. And sometimes these AU, GU, and EU, you might get AU and GU moving one direction together and the other one moving the other way. So you got to see what it looks like when it does do those things. Okay. 4 hour. Same thing, 4 hour. Oh, we have a new prophetic candle on Dixie for the 4 hours. So let me clean this one up. It's right at this one. I'm going to make this a zone. This just happened with our last 4 hour close right here. So it's pushing back down. This is a violation. Could this be the retest for this one down our lower zone right here? I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to drop that one out. And I'm going to mark this one up just to not make it so messy. So with this 4 hour move, I move some of these alarms. I'd like to see that alarm come back down there. And then I'm going to set alarm here on the upside for that. So now I got it between the two prices right here. I'll get rid of that one. So this is on the 4 hour. Could we see a retest down to this zone and then bounce, or retest and violate? Either way, it's going to help with everything else that we have for our pairs. And right now it's making a slow move down. You'll see in a second. And I've been in a gold trade that I didn't take partials on this morning, so I've been waiting patiently, and gold's finally moving up because Dixie's moving down. So here's the 4 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour on Dixie. So here's the 1 hour, and I want to take a look at this one a little bit better. So just so you guys can see, I'm trying to make this big enough to see the candle. There's the prophetic candle in the 1 hour that you guys have access to, right? We have about 5 more minutes with this close. Price action on the 1 hour wants to say, take me, retest, and take me down to here. 5 more minutes on this one right here. So as we see this push down, is it going to continue on its downward move? So far I'm looking at Dixie dropping. Kind of been anticipating that. I have a BTB that's over there. So let's look at the BTB. Why do I have a BTB that's over there? Because it's untested. Let's see if this shows it up that way. There we go. So I've had this marked up all day long. This is a reversal pattern, low to high. I use white and black for my buys. This is a reversal. This is continuation. I use lime green and dark green for my shorts. Lime green's continuation and dark green is a short. So with this close that we got here, this would be my move to see the Dixie. If we get this, what, we got another 2 minutes. If we get that close below, we're looking at this level down below for Dixie. Now I don't trade Dixie that much, but I watch it all the time. And so I know this one, I thought it might go to TP1. Sometimes they go to TP2, and that's where it did. And so with this close below, notice we haven't had a close below all day today. And if this close below, that could give an indication. Not only that, it's below the G cross right here. This could be a possible close below Pinky. So Pinky's right here and the Cheeto. So could we see this pushing on down, which would elevate our other pairs up because they're inverse correlated between gold, AU, GU, EU, NU, things like that. So kind of went through those. I'm going to look at gold for you guys just one more time because I'm going to finish up with that. So let's take a look at the monthly on gold. So this is a violation retest for us right up here, the 1898, that zone. Hasn't happened yet, but that's kind of what, you know, price action is telling us because we violated. So then they want to do a retest. Could this just be the retest? Well, could quite possibly be, but we just keep, you know, we look at it for reference for price action, which way is it going? So let's take a look at the sorry, that was silver. Click on, here's gold. Here's the price action on gold. I use this engulfing to the upside and then to the downside, back to the upside. So I can use all of this. This one down here for gold could be it. Or we could look at, maybe this engulfing here, this engulfing up here for the upside, because they've been playing this one. So for right now, I was looking as a short, but this is an option for a target up here, this retest down here. We could get the violation. So it's kind of inconclusive. We're kind of between zones. I could paint up a couple different zones. So let's take a look at a lower time frame for gold on the daily. So same thing on the daily, breakout, retest, drop. So this close gave us the move that it could do this. Maybe tomorrow, maybe during London, could we see this move to the downside? Because here's the retest. So we need a whole nother day to say it wants to go to the upside. So the daily's saying, hey, take it down, okay? And that could quite possibly what it would mean for it. It could come back up and want to retest the zone because it went to TP1 already. Notice the breakout right here. Went to TP1, TP1.5. It might want to come back here for the retest. So, but we have this price action close below. That's what is a concern for me. So for me, it's kind of inconclusive. It's the same way. This says take it down. Well, until I see it start to shift, that's a lot of drawdown, on the daily. So let's take a look at the 4 hour. This could be a target for retest up here. So here's the 4 hour. So gold on the 4 hour has done its retest here. And could it go to 1815? What was that on the daily? 20, 21, the 4 hour right here, 1815. We could see that. Could we see the 20 up here? Could it go up to here to give us the daily retest right here? 2027 usually goes a little deeper sometimes. That's a possibility, but we also have this violation. So for right now, on the lower time frame, price action says take her up. Take her up to at least 1815, 1816. Maybe 1820, because we already did TP1.5. Maybe it'll go to TP2. We have a lot of room. We got this area up here too, but just talk and sake. So let's look at the 1 hour. What is the 1 hour showing us on gold? So we have this candle here. That could be an area of interest. Let me do this, clear it up. So it's above that zone. So could we see the 1815 here? Come into this candle over here and retest this zone and drop. Or violate. It's a 1 hour, so they could violate, push up to the upside some more. All right, and then here's to break the bank on that one. Since I already had that one set up, I did something. I play AQZs, but I also look at pattern trading. This one I had marked up earlier. So here's the reversal pattern right here, low to high. Here's my white reversal arrow. Went all the way up, TP1.5, almost to TP2, and then you see the steady drop down, right? And so I was playing the pattern. If this is a breakout to the upside, I'd love to see it have a close above this break the bank line, and that would be a continuation upwards for a buy. We have a short right here in this zone, which is right here, right? Is that the breakout? No, this is the breakout. Okay, so let me get rid of this pattern just to clean it up. Just going over and over again, example after example for you guys of how I do the trading. So here's our high, this is the low, and for right now, I would love to see a close above that zone to continue up into here, the 15 area. But until we get that, this could just be the retest to the zone to drop back down. So all of that's kind of important to be looking at. And at the same time, I'm looking over here with looking at Dixie pushing down, gold pushing up. And so I just be patient. I have entries down from here and around Pinky as well that I've been holding on to all day. And so I'm going to see how this plays out for me. How much room? How much is this going to sink during Asian? We always get some movement in Asia, not the full move, and then we get something at London timeframe. So I think I kind of covered a bunch for you of all those pairs of how I just go about applying it over and over and over again. I trade one pair, mainly gold. I did get in on AU, and I'm up almost 10 pips. Okay, I fired that one off just after the analysis, but that's just because I don't trade AU that much, but because of how I analyze top-down structure AQZ, it looked like a buy. And then, that now that we see Dixie pushing down, you're seeing certain pairs moving up. Let's take a look at GU. GU is pushing up. There's that retest zone. Remember I talked about this rezone? This could be a retest zone for the short because we were talking possible shorts on GU, right? Let's look at EU, who's kind of trapped in the middle. So Dixie on the right. Right, so I don't see the close below. We'd like to see a close below, above would be nice in certain zones for us to have it. But we don't see the close below. We have the close above. So this close above retest, take it up. That could be it, right? So EU is moving up slowly. And let's look at AU as well. Look at that, AU. Here's that. Remember that I bought in when it was already about right here. And it's pushing up. So we'll see how far this is going to go. But that's how I played it, with knowing that Dixie was kind of shorting itself. Let's look at NU. We looked at NU too. What's NU doing? NU is pushing up. So remember, we were in between the zones. So now we have this close above. So this would be a retest to take it to the next zone up. It's only 19 pips. But if NU is a safe pair to work with if you're new at trading and move slower. It's not a lot of grandiose pips. You take your partials and your profits as soon as you can. And so that's what I'm seeing for everything on you guys. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up in Telegram, message me. I'm glad to answer questions as long as, they're, in regards to not the basics, of course. But I hope that was helpful. I'll drop the recording in for you guys to look at and see. And hopefully this will help improve your skills with trading. And sometimes it's just being patient. I miss, like, for example, I'm going to go back and just talk one more thing for us. This whole aspect on gold, I meant to grab my partials here, but I was caught up and I didn't pull the trigger before it pulled back down. And so I spent all day here just hanging out, and I got this push back up. So I'm hoping to see if I get some leg out of this. I'm probably going to be taking some partials anyways, because the Asian session moves one way for a short period of time, and then London will come in and we'll do some other Mickey Mouse stuff. So I'm hoping that I'd like to see this kind of get a little bit higher up into this zone, up higher. I'd love to see it break above this line for us, but until we see that, I'm going to be patient on this. I'd love to see the close above. So we'll see how this Dixie and that this keeps going. We get the close above, that gets me a new opportunity for a continuation buy, and I might wait a little bit longer. But that's just my strategy, my style of trading and being patient. So I hope that was helpful for you guys, and I will catch you next time. Have a great day, great evening, guys, or morning, afternoon, wherever you guys in the world are. Have a good one.